Portal by Philip Sobell. We may never learn the intentions of Samuel Reed, but of his peculiarity we can be more certain. A recluse with a pathological fear of other people, he spent his time writing endless scientific papers, none of which have been deciphered, though countless attempts have been made. In all likelihood he was mad. Did he understand what he had created? In those first weeks, conspiracy theories reigned as attempts were made to fill in the blanks with wild guesses and senseless conjecture. Trying to understand Reed's motivation led to drastic differences of opinion. Ideas ranged from building a bomb powerful enough to destroy the world in one fatal blast to reaching a distant alien world. Others maintained he had no idea what he was doing. Regardless of his true goal, he will be remembered as the creator of the portal, and therefore considered the most important figure of the 21st century. Given the nature of the portal, there can be no doubt where Samuel Reed disappeared. However, as nothing has ever returned, there is little hope of Reed explaining his life's work. The experiments Reed conducted before entering the portal also remain a mystery. All we have of those early days is a patchy record of objects handed into the infinite abyss of the Dark Oval. The first recorded object to enter the portal was a pen from the popular chain of Sunny Inn hotels. A concerned neighbour found his way into Reed's home through an unlocked back door. Discovering the portal, he had reached for the first thing in sight. This would lead to considerable annoyance from the Sunny Inn people, with their pens becoming prized keepsakes and disappearing from hotel lobbies as rapidly as they could be replenished. Later still, they would be chagrined to discover knockoffs on sale at the Portal Museum. A tennis ball was the second recorded object. Uncertainty creeps in at this point, with local police unable to provide a reliable account for their initial contact with the portal. Records become more reliable with the arrival of the scientific team. Once the obligatory declaration of peace and introductory gifts were out of the way, attempts were made to measure the portal's destination and range. Burdened with advanced sensory devices and recording equipment, a series of unmanned probes were passed through, all failing to return. Inevitably, testing moved to live matter, first a mouse and later a monkey. Preliminary investigations were inconclusive, and two prominent theories emerged. The first, that the portal didn't lead anywhere and vaporised the submitted objects, created no small amount of controversy. Most respectable scientists concluded it wasn't possible to turn mass into nothing. It had to go somewhere. And then all instruments measuring waste materials and pollutants in the air had returned just that, nothing. Arguments postulated that as the portal broke radically new ground, new scientific laws might emerge. The second widely held belief purported the portal to be a wormhole leading to remote space, and probably no one would ever discover where the materials were being deposited. Audio and visual recording equipment failed on contact with the portal and led to the hypothesis that the other side was a dead zone. What good is it then? The portal couldn't be switched off or destroyed. Perhaps the sensible thing to do would be to seal it off, barring further use. However, that would mean ignoring the portal as a solution to a separate but growing problem. Endless garbage piling up on street corners, overfilling every landfill site and floating in every sea. It all had to go somewhere. It was pointless to resist any longer. The portal was that somewhere. A solution had presented itself, and there was little choice but to act upon it. With no way to move the portal, an endless parade of garbage trucks lined the surrounding residential streets. Reed's home had been bulldozed and a larger building erected around the portal. Angry protesters formed behind cordoned-off sections while a constant security presence maintained public order. The conveyor belt system, hurtling garbage through the portal at 67 miles per hour, could rid the earth of almost 2 million tons of garbage per day. Even then, the portal took care of only a third of the Earth's waste, and trucks flowed tailgate to bumper. But it was enough. The long-feared garbage wars would be averted. It was 3 years before something went wrong. At first it was assumed the conveyor belt had become clogged, as had happened on occasion. A huge plume of waste sent the workers scattering for cover from the cloud of soiled nappies, food packaging, newspaper and assorted household waste raining down on them. Only when the repair crew moved in was the full magnitude revealed. Conveyor belt shutting off was not the cause but the consequence. The portal had closed and the waste piled up. While the last pieces of refuse were being taken away, Dr. Elizabeth Kellerman took an apple from her pocket and threw it up at the inactive yet ever-present portal. It bounced off, splintering into pieces on the floor. "The portal," began Dr. Kellerman, "has stopped accepting new material, and yet it remains in place." "Maybe it got sick of taking our crap?" asked their colleague. They stood staring up at it when out of the void a coin emerged. Kellerman bent down and picked it up. Local currency, she said with a curious concern. Something small and round shot past them and Kellerman hurried after it. A grape. Several items emerged, landing at their feet. They began collecting them up. A paperclip, a crumpled up bit of newspaper, an elastic band, a crisp packet. It was only when Reed appeared, dusting himself off with a confused expression, that Kellerman concluded, "I think we have a big problem."